Hello, hello. So I said I was going to teach everybody and do a little video on how to make focaccia bread, because it's the easiest bread in the world. So we're about halfway through the process right here, and what we've done is you've taken 2 packages of regular yeast. You can use highly active yeast, either one is fine, but you use 2 packages of yeast, 3.5 cups of water, and 7 cups of flour. Now this is not self-rising flour, it's just regular unbleached flour. Or you can even, you could add in a little bit of wheat, but it works best with unbleached flour, just regular flour. So that's 2 packages of yeast, 3.5 cups of water, and 7 cups of flour. And one of the tricks is that you definitely want to get your yeast and your water together. Room temperature water, not too hot, not really too cold. And you want to get all this together, and always know that if it doesn't feel all that right, then you can add a little bit more water to it as you go along. I'm a little bit old school because I was taught by a couple of really good friends of mine that the machine, if you have a big machine, commercial machine, then it's a lot easier. But otherwise, you still want to do some mixing by hand. So we're just going to finish this. Take it out of the mixer. Finish this by hand. Get it all incorporated together. And you got to be really strong here. Don't be weak about it. We haven't added anything into it. We haven't added any salt, and we haven't added any flavoring. If you wanted to, you could add rosemary. That's a big thing. A lot of people like that. You could add sun-dried tomatoes. That's also a really big thing. This has got great consistency. It's heavy, so you got to be strong with it. And I still like doing it by hand, so we're all nicely incorporated. So that looks great. Not too overdone because we still want to have air pockets. We're going to take just some olive oil. This is a big trick. And a baking sheet. Lots of olive oil on the baking sheet. And this is a must. To get good focaccia, you have to put salt underneath it. So before you even bake it, before you let it rise, we're going to put a good, healthy, generous portion of salt. And a little bit of cracked pepper. Just a little bit. Then we're going to put some salt into our flour as well. Incorporate that in. Put them together next. This really is an easy bread, and literally you can make it, when you start your coffee in the morning. So all we're going to do is then just take our, let you see that, put it onto our baking sheet. Get that out. Move that oil around. Now this is going to double in size. It's going to cover this whole baking sheet. And some days it'll do a little bit more. It will spill over. So you can always leave a little bit in the bottom for this particular recipe. But it's a half a sheet pan that it bakes at one time. Right about now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven. 375. Hit the convection switch, which allows the air to move around. I do that now because it's going to help the bread rise. It's a little cool in the house this morning, and there's some humidity, so this will help my bread rise. And then right before we bake it, we're going to put oil and salt right back on the top of it. So you're going to cover the top with oil, cover it with salt, and then you're going to take your fingers and you're going to push into it. That helps sort of, and as you pull out, it helps create some air pockets in there. And then just throw it in the oven. It's going to bake for roughly about 30-35 minutes at 375. You can cook it a little bit hotter if you want, 400 degrees. We'll do it as well. Just watch it when it gets really, really gold at the top. And if your oven's not level, then you're going to need to turn the bread to make sure that it cooks evenly. Other than that, that's it. Simple focaccia. This we're going to cut it up in little squares and make some burgers out of it for later on tonight. So we'll see.